I have gone on record and said I think Julian Sayin is going to be your quarterback in Columbus when Ohio State gets things on and popping against Texas week 1 of the college football season. With that being said, not a lot of tape out on the guy right now. There's not a bunch of games to sort through from last season and say this is who Julian Sayin is. So we did the deep diving for you. Watched some high school film, rewatched every play from the spring game of his, went back and watched some of the garbage time from him from 2024. So what are you getting in Julian Sayin? What can you expect from number 10 if he is eventually your starting quarterback week 1? We'll break it down right now. Before we do that, the Ohio State Buckeye fans, make sure you are subscribed right here to the On3 YouTube channel. If you want more content around your Buckeyes, the best way to let us know that is by subscribing to this channel. Appreciate y'all in advance for being dialed in. Also on the social channels, let me know, Instagram, Twitter, at JD Piquel, what you want to see more of from our show, The Hard Count. So the first thing people rave about with Julian Sayin is the release. If you were tuned into Letterman Row, the Ohio State On3 site during the spring, that was pretty much every single headline around the guy. Routes on air, he's out there, the release. 11 on 11, you can watch him doing the quick game, release. So he's got a quick trigger. The ball gets out of his hands very quickly. That's a good sign. Now, for me, when I'm watching him during all the things that I just mentioned, we watched him do, spring game, last year's garbage time, all those things, he throws really well to certain spots. Like what I mean by that is he places the football on the receiver's body in a very advantageous spot for them to catch it. And this is kind of subtle, but when you watch him, you'll see what I mean. If the ball is an out route, he makes sure he puts the ball high and away or low and away from where the defender is. Essentially, he has what I would call good misses. Like if Julian Sayin is throwing a pass that ends up being incomplete, it is, from what I can gather here, going to be somewhat rare for that pass to be placed in a spot where it's a miss and it's an incompletion, but to the point where it's behind the receiver and it's an out route that's going the other way for 6. Really love the way he places the football. This is not really a comparison so much from a play style perspective, but something I noticed this time a year ago, breaking down other quarterbacks. Cam Ward at Washington State before he got to Miami, this also jumped off the tape to me. So what this does when you have the elite ball placement that Julian Sayin has, one, it's going to help avoid turnovers, what I just said a second ago. 2, though, maybe as important as avoiding turnovers, you're going to maximize what you have in that receiver room for the Buckeyes. Like when you place the football on a Jeremiah Smith, and not just allow him to catch it, but allow him to catch it in stride and turn up the sideline and use that speed, or a Mylan Graham or whoever. I mean, Ohio State's got an embarrassment of riches in the receiver room. Surprise, surprise. That's going to be a very big part of their offensive success in 2025. Like Brian Hartline calling the plays, the new OC, I don't think he's going to maybe try to put the ball in the air a little bit more than Ohio State did a year ago, with him being a receiver by trade and him being a receiver coach before getting the keys to the offense. So Julian Sayin, the accuracy, again, being able to maximize what this receiver room is by putting the ball in a spot where they can catch it and make something happen with it. Also, the jump balls downfield, it's a back shoulder, like all the things he possesses, the little nuances, I'm really excited to see how that translates here in 2025 for the Buckeye offense. Because I'll say this, I think the offense as a passing game could be a touch more prolific than what they had last year. Now, some of that is because you lose Travion Henderson and Quinshon Judkins, but I think by nature how they're going to call it, by nature of Julian Sayin's skill sets, Jeremiah Smith, the best player in college football back for a second year, there's a lot of things that add up to me being really excited about this Ohio State passing game. Now, other part of this, he's got a really deep bag of throws. Better way to say that is he just has tremendous touch on the football. He can dial it up and down with relative ease. You go back and watch the spring game, he is doing everything from what we call a one ball, where you're driving it on a straight line. It's got to be like almost a fastball to a receiver, to a 2-ball, where you layer it over a linebacker, but in front of a safety. He threw one of those for a touchdown to transfer tight end Max Clare, who's going to be a dude for them. Then he also can throw the 3-ball, which is your standard, put it up and over the corner, deep ball down the right sideline, left sideline, outside shoulder, put it where the kids can't get it. He's got all 3 of those in his bag, and what that means to me is you can just do more as an offense. Like if you're a pitcher and you got the fastball, the changeup, the curveball, you can keep the batter guessing. If you're Julian Sayin, you can make all those throws. There is not a specific tendency as a defense that you can key on quite as much and say, okay, well, hey, we know we don't have to worry about the deep ball because Julian Sayin struggles with a deep ball. We know we don't have to worry about him attacking the middle of the field because he struggles putting it over a linebacker. I think he has all those things available to him. So when you're not limited as a passing offense because of those throws Julian Sayin can make, and again, taking advantage of what that receiving core is, going to score a lot of points. Like, I'm very, very high on what this kid brings to the table. Now, it's tough to totally assess this because of the limited video we have on the guy at the collegiate level. He can move a little bit now. All right, Julian Sayin he's not a statue back there. Now, his presence in the pocket is going to grow as he gets more time in 11-11 settings. But he's not so much like a dual threat as much as he is a guy that when the play breaks down, he can break, contain, keep eyes downfield, and make a good throw to his target. Also, he does a lot of those 6-inch movements. You see quarterback trainers putting social media clips together and putting them on their socials of like, hey, they'll do a quick point one way or the other, and it's a 6-inch movement. What they're trying to simulate there is the rush is coming up field, gets in your lap, and you make a 6-inch movement to where you're not breaking out and running for an 80-yard touchdown, but you are breaking contain, keeping the play alive, keeping eyes downfield. Julian Sayin, I think, specializes in that at a really high level. So all that's to say, man, throws the ball well at every level of the football field, really accurate, puts the ball in great spots from what I can gather. And then also, I'll say this. I've said this a couple times, but I want to make sure we say this one more time because it's something that I think gets overlooked with Julian Sayin. Julian Sayin has a tremendous amount of belief by nature of the decisions he'd made so far in his career in Julian Sayin. He's in Southern California going to Carlsbad High School, decides to go across the country to go play for Nick Saban. If you commit to Alabama, you are committing to compete for your job every single day. Why? Because you believe that with your skill set, under the right development at a place like Alabama, you're going to be able to get the best out of yourself. And by nature of being at a place like Alabama, committing to Alabama, you think that you're good enough to go play there. All right? So that's Julian Sayin in a nutshell. And then Saban retires. Where does he go? Not back home to the West Coast to be comfortable, which I think is a pretty fair thing to expect for most guys when they hit the transfer portal, is go back closer to home, be close to family, close to friends. He goes to Ohio State. And I said this before. My understanding of this is when Julian Sayin decided to transfer out of Alabama, he was the one going to Ohio State. Ohio State had to make a decision if they were going to take him or not because they got a stacked quarterback room already. You add another young gun in there, leaves the possibility of upsetting the room. Julian Sayin's like, the best quarterbacks go to Ohio State. I want to go to Ohio State. Don't care who's there. Don't care about the path to playing time. I trust myself. I trust my abilities. I'm going to play there. I love that, man. I want my quarterback to have that, especially in the day and age of modern college football where there's a ton of noise on social media and there's so much about guys being scared to compete and transferring out to the first signing competition. Like Julian Sayin is about that action when it comes to competing. So I think that'll serve him well here in 2025. Lot to like, lot to break down, but bottom line, Buckeye fans, once again, you got a really good quarterback. So the rich stay rich. Appreciate y'all being locked in. Again, make sure you are subscribed. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We will keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.